This is CBC Here and Now.
Oh, it is a beautiful summer night in Dildo, Newfoundland. Thank you all. Thank you, my brothers and sisters in Dildo. You've been very kind.
A big thanks from host Jimmy Kimmel to the people of Dildo for letting him make fun of the town on American late night TV for more than a week. The fireworks cap off days of building excitement while the town enjoys a big tourism boost. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes. Well, after a week of campaigning, Jimmy Kimmel has done it, sort of.
And Andrew, you are going to do the honors here. What is the verdict, Andrew? How does the committee rule?
Well, we ruled conditionally that you will be made honorary mayor.
Honorary mayor, thank you. I will be a fair mayor. I will be a kind mayor. I won't have to do any work as mayor, will I?
No, that's why it's honorary.
Okay,
that means you don't have to do anything.
Well, Kimmel wrapped up a week and a half of jokes about the town, but there is one thing he still has to do before it's official. Here and Now's Peter Cowan explains.
The Hollywood crew attracted a crowd last night. Everyone wanted to see whether Jimmy Kimmel himself would show up, and rumors were flying.
I heard that he was spotted at the airport. I heard that the RCMP presence means that he's close. I've heard that he's been floating around out there on a boat. So I don't know.
There was no Jimmy in the end, but people were still happy to see his sidekick Guillermo get screeched in. Even Premier Dwight Ball got in on the joke, and the town got a fireworks display, along with a lot of attention.
Dildo's received more exposure in the past 2 weeks, perhaps than it ever has before. So it's wonderful.
Eventually, it may die out a bit. So right now, we're getting recognition from all over the world. So let it ride, man. It is what it is.
Kimmel says he will come to Dildo. He has to do it if he wants to get his new title. That's one of the conditions. But people here in town are hoping tourists decide to come as well.
You know what? There's so many people over the years that made fun of this place. You know what? Now we're getting the last laugh. Look how popular this place is. It's wicked. It's wicked.
Kimmel's show has now gone into hiatus, so expect the jokes to stop, at least for now. One thing is sure, though, the show has made a permanent mark here in the community of Dildo. Peter Cowan, CBC News, Dildo.
And as you saw in Peter's story, Kimmel's sidekick, Guillermo Rodriguez, got screeched in, and Kimmel spoke with Premier Dwight Ball. You could say it was his premiere appearance on late night television. Just take a look.
First, you gotta kiss the codfish.
You gotta kiss a cod, Guillermo. I want to see tongue, too. All right. Was that sufficient? All right, to Dildo.
To Dildo.
All right, well, Guillermo, congratulations. We will miss you. Nice. And I understand we have a very special luminary present joining us in Dildo, the premier of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, the Honorable Dwight Ball is there. Hello there, Premier. How are you?
Hi, Jimmy. But as Guillermo knows and your staff know, and as the honorary mayor, you now know, we have some of the most amazing people on earth.
That is for sure. You've got wonderful people there. They've been very nice to our staff and to Guillermo, too.
And as you heard a moment ago, the Jimmy Kimmel Show is going on a short hiatus for now, so there won't be any new shows until September. Perhaps he'll use his time off to come visit Dildo. You never know. Well, after hearing almost a year of testimony, the consumer advocate has recommendations for the final Muskrat Falls inquiry report. He called a press conference earlier today to explain, and Here and Now's Katie Breen was there, and now she's live in our newsroom. So, Katie, what did Dennis Brown think of the inquiry process?
Well, he said it was eye-opening, and this morning he essentially recapped all 144 days of testimony. Brown started his conference today at the beginning. He went over all of what he calls the fatal mistakes made. Given everything unearthed at the inquiry, Brown says it's clear the mega project should never have gone ahead.
We were told
Two questions. Do we need the power, and is that the least cost option? Well, they were wrong on both questions. No, we didn't need that power, and no, it wasn't the least cost option. And if those two questions had been fairly put before the Public Utilities Board, we would have had our answer early on.
From there, Brown gave his suggestions for preventing similar boondoggles. First, he'd like to see a legislative budgetary office that would review big government spending. He says politicians are good people, but they're not capable of assessing megaprojects. In the future, he says things like water rights and Indigenous consent need to be finalized ahead of sanctioning. Next, he'd like to see Crown corporations come into the legislature for open and transparent questioning on any robust spending. He doesn't think officials should be out promoting their own projects, and he says room should be made on their boards for consumers. Finally, Brown says government needs to be looking at the expiry of the Upper Churchill deal. He wants to see an independent appointments commission put together a group of experts to start bargaining with Quebec in advance. More than $33 million was budgeted for the inquiry. The final cost hasn't been tallied yet. It's in the millions, but it's expected to be well below the original estimate. Brown acknowledges the irony.
It was bewildering how it all got put in place. Yes, it was worth it. It was worth every cent. We now know what happened. The commissioner will write his report, state who was responsible for this project, state what should have been done, state all the mistakes, so we know for the future. And it may be good to have as we approach 2041 what should happen there.
Brown also spoke about the commissioner and all the experts that he was able to have come in and testify. He again said that if the government of the day was able to do that and find independent voices, the province probably wouldn't be in the situation it's in right now. The commissioner's final report is due out at the end of the year. Live in the newsroom, I'm Katie Breen for Here and Now.
The CNL-OPB has given the green light to resume production at two of Husky Energy's drill centers in the White Rose field. The North Amethyst and the South White Rose extension drill centers have been offline since an oil spill in November, the largest spill in the province's history. A flow line connector failed after a powerful storm, leaking an estimated 250,000 liters of oil into the ocean. The offshore regulator says Husky has implemented several new safety measures, including installing a new, larger capacity connector. Husky has already restarted production at 3 other drill centers. Well, for people who live, work, and travel on the land in Labrador, knowing the weather is a matter of survival. But some communities don't even have their own weather station. That is until this summer. A team led by Queen's University was traveling the coast of Labrador, installing the much-needed equipment. Here now's Jacob Barker caught up with them today in Northwest River.
Off the truck and onto the ground. It doesn't take too long to assemble. Finally, up goes the mast. This weather station will now be providing localized weather information for Northwest River. Up until now, it and 5 other small Labrador communities relied upon, well, other information.
They try and use a mathematical model in conjunction with where they have weather stations to predict what it's like at a place. So in the case of Black Tickle, they're using information from maybe Mary's Harbour and also Cartwright to try and guess what it's like in Black Tickle. A station like this provides a means for residents in that community to actually look up what the actual weather is and not just what's being forecasted. They provide a means of being able to actually power the system when we don't have a lot of sunlight.
Labrador is a region that relies a lot on the weather, especially when it comes to transport.
In an area like Labrador, where people go long distances on snowmobile and boat, having a good idea about wind speed in particular and wind direction matters quite a lot.
And while the information is badly needed in areas like these, the infrastructure just hasn't been there.
It's a bit of a travesty that for some of the older communities in Labrador that have existed, there still has not been weather observations reliably done for their durations.
This project did receive some funding through the federal government, which Way is grateful for, but
my view is that it's not necessarily the role of university-based researchers to be putting in place critical infrastructure. That this type of stuff should have been done beforehand, and so at the same time as we are investing huge amounts of money in some climate change infrastructure in some regions, it's important to remember that things as simple as setting up weather stations really matter to people on the ground.
The information the stations are providing will be available through an online portal, but the hope is that soon it will also be used to inform Environment Canada forecasts. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Northwest River.
Yeah, though that information from those weather stations certainly important for what I do as a meteorologist. Allows me to see what kind of weather's happening and then determine whether my forecast was right. So definitely want to see more of those across Labrador, even the island as well. And that could have helped today, certainly, to see where some of that lightning was happening. Most of the action right now, or what we saw earlier this afternoon, was actually up in Nain. We saw some thunderstorms. That risk will continue as we head through the night tonight. Otherwise, a lovely day for most of the islands. Cloud cover hung around a little too long for the Avalon. Temperatures only peaked at 17 degrees today. Otherwise, we've got temperatures in the high 20s for Deer Lake, feeling a little bit humid as well. Finally, Nain reached the 20-degree mark. As I mentioned yesterday, it's been since the end of July since you've seen temperatures like that. Now, is it going to last as we head towards the weekend? We'll certainly have those details. Not a whole lot in the way of weather this weekend. It looks pretty quiet. Just some showers on the way for some of you, but I'll have all the details coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, now to Corner Brook, where government officials dug in their shovels this morning, once again promising that a new hospital for the city will become a reality within 4 years. Premier Dwight Ball says the $700 million building is no longer a political promise. He says the new Western Memorial Regional Hospital will open in 2023. The acute care facility will have more than 160 beds. A job fair to find construction workers will be held in the city in September. Meanwhile, the new long-term care facility is slated to open next year. Here in St. John's, it will be easier to get around downtown this weekend now that this busy section of Prescott Street has reopened to traffic. Crews spent much of the week repairing the pavement between Gower and Duckworth Street after heavy rain caused major damage. A sudden downpour caused the collapse of an underground storm sewer, forming a large sinkhole in the middle of the street. The surrounding pavement then cracked and rippled under the strain, but now the area is fully repaired. Well, word on the street has it was too good to be true. The typo on the pavement at the airport has been fixed. It now correctly spells out which lane is for the drive-through and which lane is for through traffic. This corrects a typo spotted yesterday when the drive-through was spelled drive-true. It happened at the new Orange Store Tim Hortons Subway combo at the airport. Now, the typo actually received a lot of positive feedback on social media, so much so we've been wondering if keeping the spelling error might have been good for business. Could it have become the latest place to visit just to see this typo in real life? Several people on Twitter are suggesting that fixing the mistake is a missed opportunity for local tourism. Personally, I was disappointed to see it changed, but what do you think? That's something to discuss while we go to break. You're watching Here and Now. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Before we get to the forecast, I just wanted to share something with you and with everyone at home. Something just lovely I received today. Someone anonymously dropped off this beautiful gift for me today. Isn't this nice?
So beautiful.
And anyone who knows me out there knows that I have a serious love of honeybees. So this person just dropped it off in a box. No name, no contact information. I have no way of thanking the person. It was a woman. That's all I know. And she also included this card, which has a poem on it. And I just want to read it to you.
I think you should,
okay?
yeah.
It's only 6 lines. Now the poem reads, "They found a sense of place with the brilliant pink queen. They hid in the walls, but were heard and not seen. They contently buzzed and made their sweet treats, till the queen so discovered them and thought it quite neat. So she freed them and delightedly assumed her new throne. She reigns and now loves them in their back garden home."
Oh, how
Isn't
sweet.
that just the sweetest thing?
That really
and
is.
they referenced Pink Queen, and I had a pink
bee suit.
Yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to take a moment and thank whoever it was that dropped this off to me, and just to let you know that I absolutely love it, and I'm going to find a really special place for it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, she was glowing earlier.
I
so.
was. So it
happy.
is Friday, and so the weather is very important right now. How is it looking?
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad this week, really. Pretty quiet, and which is welcome, especially for the summertime. But we'll take a look at the temperatures that we saw today. Now, the cloud cover took its time getting out of the way, so only reached a high near 17 degrees today in St. John's. But temperatures in the 20s, high 20s, or mid to high 20s anyway, for most regions through Central and even the West Coast. Up through Labrador as well in the 20-degree mark. Now, it is feeling a little bit humid, but as we head through the weekend, that humidity is going to be more prevalent. So here's where we're sitting right now, 23 degrees for Corner Brook, 22 for Happy Valley Goose Bay, Lab City sitting at 20 degrees. And finally, Nain sitting around 18 this afternoon, or right now rather. And these warm temperatures will stick around through the day tomorrow, so it's certainly good news there. And 15 degrees for St. John's. So here's the winds today. Out of the south, around 24 kilometers per hour for St. John's. That's what we're seeing right now, sustained winds. The winds will ease as we head through slightly through the night. Happy Valley Goose Bay around 7 kilometers per hour, and Nain out of the west at 22 kilometers per hour. So as far as what's happening right now, we are seeing some showers just offshore right now. Otherwise, not a whole lot happening. That cloud cover finally starting to thin out. But we'll likely see that potential for some showers as we head towards the early morning hours up through Labrador. Just some convective cloud cover right now, and still that risk of thunderstorms up through northern portions of the Big Land. Otherwise, we should see some clearing and then some showers possible again overnight tonight for most of the island, very scattered in nature if they do develop. So here's your temperatures. Nice night, 13 to 16 degrees across the board. Southwesterlies around 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. And then on the west coast, light winds expected tonight, 14 degrees for Corner Brook. And then up through Labrador, again, that risk of thunderstorms continuing for Nain should go down to a low near 12 degrees, Lab City 11 with that chance of showers. Otherwise, we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, and then that slight chance of some showers for Cartwright. And then we should see some clearing through the early morning hours. So into the day tomorrow, looking at some cloud cover moving through, slight chance of some showers for the west coast towards the afternoon and evening for Central. Otherwise, just some cloudy periods through the day and then staying unsettled for northern Labrador tomorrow afternoon. So here's a look at your temperatures. Nice, a little bit warmer than what we saw today. Should reach a high near 21 degrees for St. John's. Do have that chance of showers. That will be in the morning, and then eventually going to see some clearing. 22 for Clairville, same for Marystown as we head towards Central. Grand Falls winds are 25 degrees. Harbor Breton sitting around 19 with some of that onshore winds. Otherwise, anywhere from 20 to 25 degrees in Corner Brook. Again, going to feel humid tomorrow, even more so as we get into Sunday. 22 degrees for St. Anthony with that chance of showers. Those winds will shift from southwesterly to westerly, 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. And then another day in the 20s for Labrador, 25 degrees for Happy Valley Goose Bay, plenty of sunshine, and Nain sitting at 19. So that's a look at your forecast. We'll look ahead to Sunday and in the beginning of next week when I come back. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ashley. Well, it's an unusual sight. A man dressed head to toe in yellow running on the spot in public places. Halifax's Fellow in Yellow is gearing up for a run across Canada, and he wants to encourage people to be, as he puts it, their own hero. Brooklyn Curie has a story.
He's Trevor Redmond running on the spot. He's been doing it every weekend for the past month, all over Halifax. Dressed in yellow from head to toe, he's hard to miss. And he racked up 800,000 steps in July alone.
I'm running on the spot just to encourage people to move and move in whatever position that they're in. Even if they're in a very bad position or health-wise or otherwise, they can still move in their own way and conquer that position.
Redmond is training to build his endurance and eventually run across Canada. He walked across Canada in 2006 and again in 2007. He biked across the country and back in 2009. 10 years later, Redmond is turning 48, but he's not shying away from the challenge.
And I'll say that because I have a more stronger maturity, more wit. So that does become stronger. That becomes more of an ability to a person. Physically, I got to get there.
Redmond says if he's successful, he could be the first person to walk, run, and cycle across the country. It's a dream he's had since he was a kid living in Pictou County. His first couple of treks were to raise money and awareness for cancer prevention. This time around, he's got an added message.
I think the real message is becoming their own hero. You know, I'm the greatest hero in my life right now, although I've had many, many heroes in the past. We need to be our own heroes, and we need to take control of what we do for ourselves.
Redmond hopes to hit the cross-country trail as early as 2020. Brooklyn Curry, CBC News, Halifax.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, it's been quite a week for residents of Dildo and people in the province celebrating the town. Dildo has taken center stage because of late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel. Now, the jokes have all wrapped up now with Kimmel named honorary mayor of Dildo. Now, Kimmel did say the ABC network spent about $100,000 to be in the community. So let's bring in Here and Now's Jeremy Eaton to have a look back at all of this excitement.
It was a wild week in Dildo, and it's one that people won't ever forget. How one of the biggest names in Hollywood brought international attention to a small community. Now, what started out as a joke turned into one of the most popular mayoral runs this province has ever seen. So let's take a quick look back at the last 2 weeks.
This week, I was alerted to the existence of a place, maybe a magical place. It's a small town called Dildo, D-I-L-D-O. It's a real place in Newfoundland, Canada.
It's called dildo, a word that has come to mean an artificial penis.
Yes, it has indeed come to mean that.
I didn't know who was Jimmy Kimmel, and I had to go on Google and make some search because I don't watch TV.
And we would like you to be our first official sister city. And when I am mayor of Dildo, this is going to connect us. So we're outside our theater right now. Guillermo is installing a sign. My mayoral campaign's been getting a lot of attention from the media in Canada, and there have been a lot of stories on the subject, including this from the CBC.
As we were coming in here, if you can look at the sign just behind me, Jimmy loves Dildo, Kimmel for mayor. These signs are peppered all over Dildo. As far as this goes for Jimmy for mayor, look, I've covered a few political campaigns, and I haven't seen one so one-sided before. So we will, I think he's got a pretty good shot.
All right, well, thank you, Adam. I appreciate that.
I love Dildo.
Why does it sound like you're reading a script in a hostage video?
Oh, never, Jimmy. That's from the bottom of my heart.
Really? Because I saw a text exchange that you had with one of our producers, Jen, and she said, hey, let's put the text up. She said, hey, Guillermo, we're sending you to Dildo all next week. And you said, I think is bull.
When they told me oh, you got to pack right now and everything. So I was with my family and with my son and everything and my wife. So I was like, oh my God, the whole week. And I was like, oh my God. But then, it's hard to get here because it's far. But when you get here, it's such a nice place. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we're just really excited that Newfoundland is being put on the grid by Jimmy Kimmel, so we wanted to get in on the hype.
There's a special sign being made similar to what you'd see in Hollywood. It would say Hollywood, but there are 4-foot-tall letters, white letters, that are en route to Dildo that are going to be put up, and instead of Hollywood, it'll say Dildo.
Like the city you love, I am flexible but firm. And as mayor, I will fight for you, not with you. I will bring back Dildo pride, and I'll protect your scenic shores.
So I thought Matt might decide, you know what? I'm not going to let Kimmel become mayor of Dildo. I'm going to become mayor of Dildo. So hopefully not only will Jimmy Kimmel come to Dildo, but we can get Matt Damon here as well.
All right, well, thank you all for being here. As you know, I'm running for mayor of Dildo. I know you have questions, and well, let's start with Amanda Muse in the back there. Amanda?
So why should the people of Dildo vote for you? I've talked to so many people, and the first question that everyone is asking is Jimmy Kimmel coming?
Now, as we all know, he didn't show up, but says he will be coming in the future. And speaking of the future, it looks very bright for the town of Dildo, as it will probably become the next hotspot for tourism in this province. Carolyn?
Thanks, Jeremy. That's Here and Now's Jeremy Eaton reporting. Now to Nova Scotia, where a fascinating new species of fish is turning up in the waters, but the problem is they aren't supposed to be there. These are tropical fish, and their arrival could be signaling some serious problems. Shayna Luck has the story.
After 23 years of diving, this is not what Lloyd Bond expected to find off the coast of Nova Scotia.
They were just all right off this wharf. There's butterfly fish for the last couple of years. They're directly under this wharf.
Vibrant butterfly fish, tropical seahorses, species he's seen in Mexico but never thought he'd see at home. He suits up a couple times a week, always taking along his underwater cameras.
I remember my first butterfly fish that I seen. I've only seen one the whole year, and then the following year I seen about 10 of them, and then last year I seen about 20 of them. And not only one location, I seen them in multiple locations.
Bond moves slowly, creeping up on the fish, which are often no bigger than a loonie. He believes he's seeing tropical fish because the cold North Atlantic waters are changing. Federal scientists agree. They say pulses of warm subtropical waters are pushing cold Arctic waters back and carrying small stowaways north.
They're just being transported with the water, and it's not like they're coming up here because it's warm water. They're coming with the warm water.
So far this year, DFO measurements show water temperatures aren't abnormally high, but that comes on the heels of several years of rising water temperatures, including last year, which broke temperature records from Nova Scotia to Newfoundland. The waters outside Halifax are more rugged coastline than tropical paradise. For now, it's unlikely the tropical fish stand a chance at competing with the hardier local species.
You're really happy to see them, but it's kind of bittersweet because you know they're going to die off like the first cold snap. As soon as the water gets cold, usually a couple days later, everything's gone.
An unnatural and temporary beauty. Shayna Luck, CBC News, Prospect, Nova Scotia.
Boilers here, steam boilers, were used in the hatchery.
With the spotlight on Dildo this week, we're looking back at the town's rich fishing history. Next, a closer look at the Dildo Island Fish Hatchery.
There's been a lot of coverage of Dildo this week because of the spotlight on the town by the late-night TV show Jimmy Kimmel Live. So we've been dipping into our archives to show off some of the history around the town. The Dildo Harbor has played a big role in the town's history. It's still a busy place now, filled with boats. This year marks 130 years since the start of the Dildo Island Fish Hatchery. Back in 1989, the CBC's Pauline Thornhill featured it during its 100th anniversary celebrations. Here's a look at that event.
It's become an annual event in Dildo. The flotilla is the highlight of every summer. Practically everyone who owns a boat is involved, any kind of boat, from longliner to pleasure craft. If it floats, it's decorated, made ready to join the line of more than 20 vessels that will head out to Dildo Island. Everyone comes out for this. Not even the threat of rain has kept people home, especially not this year. This summer marks an anniversary, 100 years ago, when people went to Dildo Island for work, not pleasure. They worked here in the Dildo Island Codfish Farm. It was the largest fish farm in the world and the first in North America. It was set up by a Norwegian, a man named Adolf Nielsen. He'd been brought to Newfoundland by the government of the day in an effort to save the failing cod fishery. It was the late 1880s. Fishermen in Dildo, as well as those in Bonavista and Placentia Bay, were coming up with empty nets. It was as if the fish had simply disappeared. Nielsen's answer to that was the fish farm. He'd grow fish in glass jars. Dildo Island proved to be the ideal site. Its low land and deep water close to shore suited Nielsen's needs perfectly.
Well, this is the actual site where...
Lloyd George is from Dildo. He's a history buff and is the local expert on the Dildo Island fish farm.
These old boilers here, steam boilers, were used in the hatchery to pump water from out there, 27 feet deep. These boilers pumped the water up at the rate of 200 gallons a minute.
Well, this was very modern technology, wasn't it?
Oh, this was up, really up, top notch. Oh yes, this was the best of its day. As a matter of fact, it was far advanced for its age. We're talking about 100 years ago now.
On the beach, you can still see concrete remains of a fish pound wall. The pound was used to hold spawning cod.
That's all that's left on this island now, the two boilers and that bit there. There's no foundation or anything like that.
It's almost hard to believe it was ever actually here.
Well, it's a mystery, isn't it, in a way, to us?
Mystery or not, the fish farm seemed to be working. One year it produced more than 220 million cod fry.
The actual fishermen themselves, no doubt there were some skeptics among them. There would be, no matter what you start. But when the evidence came out that there was young fish swimming around, they were very much excited. You know, it's almost like a miracle. I mean, it's unbelievable to see those fish being reproduced, growing, and they go out and catch them again. Well, it was really something, you know.
But the material Lloyd George has collected shows there was still skepticism in government. No one was convinced the released cod fry would ever return to where they were spawned. Purse strings were tight, so government pulled out. The year after, the farm closed. And after that, it was almost as if it had never been.
They didn't realize that they had such a fantastic thing on their hands. And it didn't last that long, you see, only from 1894 to 1889, I would say 7, 8 years. It's all over. So maybe the novelty came and went fast, you know. If it had stayed on now, if it had stayed on into the 1920s or even the 30s, they would have realized what it was.
Now, a century later, people do realize what it was. They're proud of the farm and its place in history, and they're proud of their ancestors. On this tiny island in the bottom of Trinity Bay, they were on the cutting edge of fish farming technology, 100 years ahead of their time. These people consider this island to be an historic site. As far as they're concerned, the fish farm should no longer be one of Trinity Bay's best-kept secrets. For CBC News, I'm Pauline Thornhill on Dildo Island.
Welcome back to Here and Now, everyone. So, Ashley, looking at the long-range forecast now, how are things looking, you know, a few days down the road now?
There's really not a whole lot happening as far as weather goes, like big significant systems. So that's certainly good news. We have been in a little bit of a quiet period. So we'll take a look at the forecast for tomorrow, just in case you missed it a little bit earlier. That chance of showers in the first half of the day for the Avalon. Then we should see some clearing. And then for the West Coast, you're going to see that cloud cover increase with that chance of showers scattered, though. Through the day, those temperatures still reaching the mid-20s with that humidex making it feel a little bit warmer, probably closer to 26 or 27 degrees. Twillingate reaching a high near 22 with plenty of sunshine. And then up through Labrador, I'm going to see that chance of showers mainly for Lab West and the northern portion of the Big Land. 25 degrees for Happy Valley Goose Bay, and Cartwright and the southeastern portion still in the mid to high 20s. So looks like a lovely day for you. And as we head into Sunday, that's when it really does look like the best chance of showers will move in. We'll see some, generally looking at more cloud than sun for the day on Sunday, not ruling out some peaks of sun, but certainly more cloud cover. And then that chance of showers will move in as well. This is for the morning, and then as we head towards the evening hours through central. And then up through Labrador as well. Best chance we'll see some showers there, eventually clearing though from west to east into the evening hour. So not a bad day into Monday as well. Quiet, slight chance of some showers across the board, but really not a whole lot happening. I don't really see any significant rainfall until the middle of the week, and even that, it doesn't look like it'll amount to much, just some winds for the most part. So here's a look at your Sunday forecast. 22 degrees for Lab City, hanging on to those 20-degree temperatures for mainly for the Big Land. Otherwise, we're going to drop for Nain back down to about 12 degrees with that chance of showers. For the island, a bit of a drop in temperatures as well, likely hovering around the 19 to 22 degree range across the board. With that chance of showers moving in, anticipating the eastern Newfoundland and the Avalon will stay just generally cloudy with a few peaks of sun through the day. But here's a look at the temperature over the next 5 days, anywhere from 19 to 21 degrees over the next couple of days. Heading into next week, that's when we'll start to see that warm up with that potential for, or we'll likely see some humidity. And then Tuesday showers, Wednesday looks nice at 23 degrees. Now for central Newfoundland, by the time Monday rolls around, looks like we'll get back into that heat with the potential for some showers on Tuesday. Otherwise humid, and Wednesday looking at 26 degrees. Similar forecast for western Newfoundland with that dip tomorrow on Sunday, and then back up into the mid to high 20s by the time Monday rolls around. Tuesday, best chance of showers, and then Wednesday, sunshine and 23 degrees. For eastern Labrador, it looks like your temperatures should stay in the mid to high 20s right through Tuesday. Wednesday is when we'll see a little bit of a dip with that potential for some showers. And same thing for western Labrador, 16 and 17 degrees by Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's a look at your forecast. I'll have your weather photo coming up in a little bit. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ashley. Well, in national news, Conservative leader Andrew Scheer isn't easing up on Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He's now calling on several Liberal MPs to back an investigation into their leader.
Wednesday, you have a choice to make. You can be complicit in this cover-up and stand by a leader who has deceived Canadians, or you can put Canada first and shine a light on the truth.
The Conservatives and New Democrats successfully requested an emergency meeting of the Ethics Committee. It's scheduled for next week. On Wednesday, Canada's ethics watchdog found Trudeau in violation of conflict of interest rules, saying he improperly pressured the former Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould in the SNC-Lavalin affair. Well, against the backdrop of an upcoming federal election, Ottawa has announced a compensation package for Canada's dairy farmers. It's to help make up for losing market share under recently negotiated international trade deals.
I'm pleased to announce that the federal government will make available $1.75 billion over 8 years to Canada's nearly 11,000 dairy producers.
Essentially, it took 4 years for the Liberals to come forward with the exact same plan that Stephen Harper came forward with just before the last election.
Of that $1.75 billion total, $345 million will be handed out this year. Specific amounts will be based on producers' quotas. For instance, a farmer with 80 cows will be given about $28,000 in the first year. The agriculture minister also said measures for poultry and egg producers will be announced soon. In international news tonight, police in New Zealand say a random overnight attack by a lone gunman has left an Australian tourist dead and his Canadian fiancée shocked and distressed.
Still working through in regards to injuries that she may or may not have obtained during the ordeal.
Canadian Bianca Buckley and Australian Sean McKinnon had been asleep in their van when they woke to gunfire. An as yet unidentified man had fired into the vehicle, wounding McKinnon and prompting Buckley to flee. She was able to reach a house and call police, but by then the assailant is believed to have driven away in the van with McKinnon inside. Police later recovered the vehicle and McKinnon's body about 75 kilometers away. Armed police are now searching for the suspect. Now to London, Ontario, more video has emerged showing the exact moment of that gas line explosion in a residential neighborhood this week. It happened when a car careened into a house, slamming into a gas meter on Wednesday night. Residents of all but 10 of the 100 evacuated homes were allowed to return today. What they discovered was a level of destruction that some compared to damage from the Blitz in wartime London, England. The 23-year-old driver of the car has been charged with impaired driving. There were no fatalities in the explosion and fires, but one firefighter remains in hospital in serious condition.
I want to know where you're to. I don't know about you, but I think fog can make some pretty beautiful photos. So this one was taken, well, I want to know where it was taken, and Sheila Butt sent us this photo, so I'll tell you where this is to when we come back after the break.
Welcome back. Well, this weekend marks the golden anniversary of a defining moment in musical and cultural history, Woodstock.
And it's supposed to be 1.5 million people here by tonight. Can you dig that?
It's really amazing, and it looks like some kind of biblical, epical, unbelievable scene.
It sure was. 50 years ago, hundreds of thousands of young people from across North America descended on a dairy farm in New York. Woodstock was billed as 3 days of peace and music. It would turn into the most storied music festival in history, featuring Jimi Hendrix, The Who, Janis Joplin, Santana, and many, many more. Now, there were problems, rain, mud, and a lack of food and shelter, but whatever the setbacks, Woodstock remains secure in its place in history. Well, it's not just Woodstock celebrating an important milestone. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays and anniversaries across the province. Happy 60th anniversary on Monday to Bruce and Betty Chafe of St. John's. Anniversary wishes to Harold and Rosemary Sampson on their 50th anniversary this past Monday. They're from Sandringham. Happy 50th anniversary to Clayton and Marie Smith from Gooseberry Cove, Trinity Bay. Happy 53rd anniversary to Majors Wilson and Linda James, who are living in Gander. Love from family and friends. Donald and Florence Bursey of Buckens are celebrating their 69th wedding anniversary today. Congratulations.
Happy 55th anniversary to Gerald and Maureen Dwyer from St. John's from your family and friends. Happy 62nd wedding anniversary to Joseph and Alrita Dunphy of Gander. Happy 50th wedding anniversary on August the 12th to George and Linda Bullen from Bay Roberts. George is also celebrating his 75th birthday. Happy anniversary to Wilson and Nellie Lilly, who celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary on Sunday. Greetings from all your family. Happy 90th birthday to Gus Burton this past Tuesday. He celebrated with family and friends in his hometown of Paquette.
Happy 50th wedding anniversary today to Anne Marie and Joan McGraw of Dunville. Happy 51st wedding anniversary to Walter and Irene Jacobs of Badgers Key tomorrow. Love from your family and friends. And best wishes to George and Lizzie Blanche of Jersey Side. It's their 62nd wedding anniversary. And a very happy birthday to Elizabeth Williams of Lewisport, who celebrated her 102nd birthday yesterday. Special greetings from all her family and many friends. Happy 60th wedding anniversary going out to Betty and George Bryant of New Perlican.
Congratulations to Calvin and Isabel Payne of Fogo, who recently celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. Best wishes from family and friends. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Anne and Fred McDonald. They are celebrating today. Doug and Elsie Wells of Mount Pearl were married 52 years ago on August 19th, 1967. Reverend Clayton and Laureen Parsons of Cornerbrook are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary on Thursday. Married 50 years ago today are Sydney and Hilda Baggs from Burgeo. Special greetings from their 5 daughters and 7 grandchildren.
Happy 59th wedding anniversary to Rendell and Rosie House of Pasadena. Congratulations. Happy 62nd wedding anniversary today to Clara and Irving Wareham of Carbonear, now living at Meadow Creek Retirement Home in Paradise. Happy anniversary to Susie and Ross Taylor of Mount Pearl, who celebrated their 50th this week. Wishing pastors Jim and Cavell Anthony of Clark's Beach a very happy 55th wedding anniversary on August 14th. Happy 54th anniversary to Edith and Ted Palmer of New Chelsea, Trinity Bay. Love from family and friends.
Phyllis Stone from Lower Lance Cove, now living in Hickman's Harbor, is celebrating her 93rd birthday. Kathleen Kennedy of Belle Island turns 90 years old, celebrating with 11 children, 31 grandchildren, 32 great-grandchildren, and 2 great-great-grandchildren. Wow. Herbert and Shirley Blundell are celebrating their 57th anniversary. Best wishes from family and friends. Congratulations to Joseph and Eveline Leroy of Point Amal on the West Coast, who celebrated 56 years of marriage this week. Congratulations to William and Blanche Hollett of St. John's, now living in Long Pond, who celebrated their 68th wedding anniversary on Wednesday.
Anniversary greetings to Ruth and Ern Cluett, who are celebrating 56 years of marriage. Wishing Rosalie and Sid Stiles of Stephenville a very happy 53rd anniversary. Happy anniversary to Aidan and Mary Ellen Kavanagh of Calvert, who will be celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary on Sunday. Happy 91st birthday to Reg Clark of Victoria, love from family and friends. Happy 50th anniversary to Max and Marcy Stanford of Shoal Harbour. Congratulations.
Happy 74th wedding anniversary to Keywood and Doris Boone of Lassie. George and Marie Mitchell-Moore from Green Island Cove are celebrating their 63rd wedding anniversary. A happy 98th birthday to Evelyn Hatcher of Port aux Basques, formerly of Rose Blanche. Happy 97th birthday to Rhoda Barrett of Old Perlican, who celebrated yesterday. Mary Mackey celebrated her 94th birthday yesterday. Love and best wishes from all your family.
Celebrating her 92nd birthday today is Audrey Grandy of Garnish. Hope you have a great day. Teresa Gale from Southeast Placentia will celebrate her 90th birthday this weekend. Pastor Eric Gowdy from Port Anson, now living in Grand Falls, Windsor, celebrated his 92nd birthday on Wednesday. Happy 60th anniversary to Thelma and Donnie LaCour from Shallop Cove. Congratulations. A happy 64th wedding anniversary today to Lyola and Elizabeth Kenny of Witless Bay.
Happy anniversary to Wilf and Kizzy Budden as they celebrate their 54th anniversary today. And a 50th anniversary to Jim and Joy Andrews of the Ghouls. They celebrated on August 15th.
Well, there's your weather photo of the day. It was taken in Port Anson. Thank you so much to Sheila Butt for sending us that photo. If you have any you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Just beautiful. Thank you so much, Sheila. And that's it for us. Good night, everyone.
Good night.